Hi there, Gio and I, Brian. Just here today to talk about West Tip, another Aintree legend. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Yes, I can. West Tip, great horse, ran a lot in the 1980s, won the National in 1986, became a real public favourite like all these Grand National horses do, and many people were backing blindly during that period, just know that West Tip was in the field, and more often than not he was favourite for the race during the 80s.
He had his own problems when he was a youngster though.
He did. It's a remarkable story. It very nearly never got there. I think he had a bad accident, bumped into a lorry, or a lorry bumped into him at his stables with Michael Oliver, and a real nasty sort of gash in his hindquarters, which took some sorting out at the time, and I think it was life and career threatening for a while, but he survived and went on to become the great horse that he was, and he bore the scars of it and had stitches in his backside literally, which they used to pick up on camera very regularly in the paddock just before the National and explain the story.
Can you talk us through the emergence of his regular jockey, Richard Dunwoody?
Yeah, Dunwoody was a young lad, just come over to England and was riding at the time. Always very talented and always predicted for big things in the future, but West Tip, this horse turned up for him an absolute unique moment. You need exposure and you need to get on the television and big race wins, and West Tip did that and carried Dunwoody to some big race victories, no more so than 1986 when he won the National, but he'd also come to prominence the year before when winning at the Cheltenham Festival, and then going to the Grand National as favourite, where I think he actually fell at Becher's second time when going terrifically well, and in many people's eyes he was a sort of winner on the day had he have stood up, but they put that right 12 months later in 86, and Dunwoody went on to great things, not only with this horse but riding Gold Cup winners and riding for Martin Pike, David Nicholson, becoming champion jockey.
How many times did he run the National?
He ran in it 6 times. There was that first occasion falling at Becher's, winning it the year later. He was then 4th twice, and he was 2nd, I think it was a 12-year-old, in a tremendous race behind Little Polvia, and he also ran in it in his 13th year. I think 6 is a record for any horse to run in the National. Sort of back in the field that day and finished halfway down, but still got round, bar that first year's sort of experience and getting Becher's wrong. He sort of completed the course 5 times after that, and always there or thereabouts with a tremendous chance of winning.
And not just an Aintree horse either, he had great success elsewhere.
He did. He was very underrated in that regard. He was always deemed a stayer, which he sort of got 4.5 miles very, very well. But he did win the Ritz Club Chase at the Cheltenham Festival, a couple of decent hurdle races when he was very young, and also he ran in Gold Cups and finished place in those. So he was a quality horse, not just a stayer.
Thanks, Brian.